Coach Prime at Colorado, they are losing people left and right. 14 new transfers after the spring semester. Look, it's one thing to have the transfers after the season. Okay? In December, you get the transfers. That's one thing. And in the spring, you might have a few. You might have 3 or 4 here or there, guys that we either were in the program and aren't going to make a difference, or they transferred in and they're like, oh, whoops. Yeah, we're not as good as what we thought we were. We're getting out. Okay, I understand that part of it. So that's kind of the thinking behind all of that. Well, 14 is a crazy number. That's a crazy number, man. Something may very well be going on in Colorado. Why all these people are now leaving. Now, here's the flip side to that. People are saying, well, he's holding people accountable, which I agree. Holding people accountable to a certain standard, and some of these kids just don't want to do that. I get that. But 14, that's a lot, man. That is a lot. So I don't know what's going on. Like I said, I'm rooting for Coach Prime. I want Coach Prime to succeed, but something's got to give. You can't be losing 14 guys in the spring semester. That's too many. That is too many. And maybe they'll get some other guys to come in, but you lose 14, I mean, there's a problem. There's something going on. I know people are saying, well, maybe they're finding out that it's a lot of substance over there. You know, it's not what he's saying that it is over there, which I can agree with. But is the competition too high? Or is it really one of those things to where is Coach Prime running guys off? That could be another thing. You know, because coaches run people off nowadays. They always used to do it, but now you can do it legally, basically, and nobody says anything. So is that what's going on? They're running some guys off, and they're like, hey, man, you're not as good as what we thought you were going to be. You need to find another place. Marty Macklin, the defensive back that came, it sounds like that was the case. It sounds like Dion was like, look, man, you won't do what we want you to do. You're not going to class. You don't study. It doesn't sound like you want it. We can't have you be here anymore. There's no reason for you to be here and just sit on the bench as much talent as you have. I think that was the case with him. And it might be a case for a plethora of other players as well. Is that maybe, you know what? You're not doing it here. Whatever we're doing, you know, you're not picking up what we're putting down. It's time for you to move on. So, and a lot of it, somebody over here, yeah, you're right, Sean. Transfer portal is very easy. You jump in, you find another place. You're right. Especially with the NCAA made it so easy now. Now you can transfer unlimited times as long as you're working towards a degree. Nobody cares. Yeah, it's become chaos. So, but let's take a deeper dive into Coach Prime. The first year they win 4 games. That's coming off the previous year with the previous coach. They won 1. The roster was awful. I would say on Colorado's roster, the year before Coach Prime got there, I would say they probably had, I don't know, 60 to 65 people that were on that roster shouldn't have been playing that high level of Division I. They had no business being there. Easily 65%. He comes in, they flip the roster completely, and then they win 4 games. The part of the roster that they ignored, and everybody that knows football knew it was going to be a problem. They ignored the offensive defensive line. And because of that, once they started playing teams that had a decent offense and defensive line, they got humiliated. So this year, I think they got to win 7 or 8 games. They got to win 7 or 8 games. Otherwise, it's not a success. It's time to change. So, and yes, Darren Howard, jumping from school to school is so weak. Oh, my God, it is so weak. I mean, I understand if you're in a situation and maybe you're not going to play, and you've been there for 2 or 3 years, and, okay, I'm not going to play here. I want to go play. Go transfer down and go play. But that's not what we're seeing a lot of these guys do. We see them, okay, they're there for a year. Oh, I didn't get to play. I leave. I go transfer. Say I'm at Colorado. Okay, I go transfer to Michigan State. Oh, yeah, I'm not playing at Michigan State either. Okay, well, I'm going to go transfer again. And at what point is it, you know what? I really just want to play football. Because this is what used to happen. When guys transfer, they used to transfer down a level. Why? Because you had to sit out if you transferred from Power 5 to Power 5. Yeah, or Group of 5. If you were Division 1, you had to sit out. So even if you transferred from Michigan to Akron, you had to sit out. Well, now that's not what they do. You don't have to sit out anymore. That's the difference. But nobody's going from Michigan to Akron. They're going from Michigan to Arizona State, only to find out, oh, yeah, I'm still not any good. I still can't play. And that's the thing. If you want to play football, if that's what you really want to do, I think a lot of these guys got to say, you know what? I'm not a Division I talent. I'm not a Power 5 talent. Maybe I should transfer from Michigan to Akron. Go from Kansas State to Ball State. Maybe I should go down a level to try to play. I don't have to sit out, but that's not what they do. They go from one to the next, and then they get mad. Well, the coaching didn't do enough for me. I didn't get enough NIL money. What are we talking about, people? Come on. Players got to be better. I remember when I was playing back at Kansas State, we had a defensive back, a number. I'm not even going to go through his name. Yeah, I will. I'll say number 35, a feisty young cat, real feisty. Fought his way onto the field. And when I mean fought his way onto the field, Lord have mercy. My first weekend at Kansas State, there was a brawl out in front of our dorm. This 5'11", 175, 85 pounds soaking wet dude was out there throwing haymakers. I said, you know what? This is the place I want to be. This is the place I want to be. If we're fighting, I said, you know what? I can get behind guys. I didn't know anybody there. I didn't know a soul. But I said, this is where I want to be. Football team is going to bond together. And it was like 8:30 in the morning out there fight. I said, yeah, I can get behind this. They don't do that anymore. There's none of that. No camaraderie like that anymore. No camaraderie. Lord have mercy. What are we doing? Everybody's buddies. No, I just need the football team to be together. You go to another school, I don't have to like you. We can be friends another time. We can do that another time. Unbelievable. I don't know. I think it's crazy. I just think it's crazy. I think we got to be better. We got to be better. Coach Prime got to be better. They got to win 7 games this year. I'm not saying they got to win 9 games or 10 games. I'm not saying that about Coach Prime. But they got to win 7 games. And they got a schedule to where they can win 7 games. I don't want to hear it. Winning 5 games is a failure this year. It's a failure. They got to win 7 games. Period. Point blank. End of story. That's what I believe. Let's see my man Jason Parkinson. Appreciate you joining over here on YouTube. He said, look at the wide receiver from Michigan. He transferred from Michigan to Delaware. He just wants to see the field. Yes. Sometimes, guys, look, I understand everybody wants to play big-time college football. That was my main objective. When I was leaving junior college, I wanted to go to a place that played big-time college football. That was my goal. I made it my goal when I went to junior college. I said, I'm only going to be here for 18 months. My goal is to go to the best possible place that I can go that's playing big-time football and put myself in that position. Had I not had that position, I had backup plans to say, I just want to play. If I can't play big-time football, okay, great. But I also know some other places I can go where I can still play Division I college football. The people now, they have no plan. These kids now, they have no plan. It's just, I'm going to do this no matter what. No matter what. This is what I'm doing. And then if it doesn't work out, which, look, a lot of times it doesn't always work out. Well, I'm just jumping ship. No thought to, okay, maybe I need to work a little bit here. Get in the weight room. Maybe I'm not as strong as I need to be. Maybe I'm not as explosive as I need to be. That's all. Drop down a level and go play. There's nothing wrong with that. And I know what a lot of it is. A lot of it is the psychological thing and guys back home where, oh, well, he went to Michigan, but he couldn't make it at Michigan. He had to go to Ball State and play. Okay, where are you playing? What are you doing? Oh, nothing. Got it. And that's all people would really have to say. Hey, man, I'm going to play. I'm going to get an education, and I'm playing college football. Okay? What's wrong with playing college football? Not only that, what's wrong with playing college football at Michigan? What's wrong with playing college football at Toledo? What's wrong with playing college football at Indiana State? At Pitt State? At Northwestern? What's wrong with playing NIA or NAIA college football? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. So don't let the egos and the jealousy of people that aren't capable of doing what you're doing get in the way. I think a lot of times that's what happens. It did for me my first year. It did for me. And that's why I said, I got to get the hell away from where I live. Because that first year I went to college, I was driving home every weekend, going somewhere, doing stuff I wasn't supposed to be doing. And it was time for me to get out. And I left. And I think that would be good for a lot of guys. Do you get homesick? Sure you do. But you get past that. Like I said, I went to Kansas State. Now, I was past the homesick part by that point. But all I needed was a good fight. Yeah, buddy. A good fight out in the front of the dorms. And I was home. I was home. I said, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I was home. And so sometimes you just need something like that. Colorado's got to figure some stuff out. Coach Prime got to figure some stuff out. Hopefully, he continues to build. I'm rooting for him. Like I said, there's some problems there. There's no question. But hopefully they continue to build and they have a better year this year. So, does education matter anymore? Says somebody on TikTok. That's a great point. It's almost like we've forgotten about that part of the whole school experience, is the education aspect. I would say this. People always say they blame the kids. Kids don't care. Does anybody care? Did the athletic department ever care? Did the academic side ever care? Because first of all, the academic side always hates the athletic side at every university. So that's number one. But number two, the athletic department doesn't care whether you graduate or not, or whether you're going to school. They care whether you can play, whether you can produce, whether you can help them win, which is going to generate them money. Period. End of story. That's all I'm saying. They don't care. They've never cared. So don't just put the onus on whether the individual kids care, because they probably, for the most part, a lot of them don't. The education side is just a byproduct of them being there. But as far as anything else goes, I wouldn't say everybody cares. I wouldn't. So let's see here. Darren Howard. I've heard a tale of said fight. I think it was freshman or orientation day. Parents everywhere. Absolutely. It was everywhere. I said, this fight, and look, it's a legendary fight at Kansas State University, people. Legendary. Goes down, and there's a few guys that are in the chat here on YouTube that were in that fight. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say any names because, again, I don't want, I'm changing the names to protect the innocent. Changing the names to protect the innocent. But I was there. It goes down in the record books as one of the epic fights. Like I said, I knew I was at home when I see my 175-pound DB out there in front of everybody swinging, knocking people. I said, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm at home. I'm at home. I love it.